Let's look at the tan of some angles that are mirror images of 60 degrees. This formula is complicated. Tan A plus tan B upon 1 minus tan A tan B. You see undefined, so you have to use a different approach. Tan of 180 minus 60 for tan 120. Okay, here we don't have undefined values, but we go through a slightly more complicated calculation to get it as minus root 3. Now we can also do tan of negative numbers. Tan 60 is minus root 3. Tan of a negative angle is minus tan. But if you see, tan of minus 120 is plus root 3. As before, the graph will explain why it is positive. As said before, tan, sine, cos of negative numbers, the formula that you see is for angles less than 90 degrees. Greater than 90 degrees, you have to refer to the graph. Let's start with the 60-degree angle in the first quadrant as we have done before. But now we have tan, which is sine by cos. Hence, we have to take both the y and the x value. Sine is the y coordinate, opposite 60 degrees, it's root 3. And the x value is on the x-axis, x coordinate, which is 1. Here the hypotenuse gets cancelled out when we do sine by cos, hence we don't need the value of the hypotenuse. Tan of 60 is root 3 by 1 in the first quadrant. Let's go to second quadrant. Our angle now, as we have seen before, is 120 degrees, mirror image of 60 degrees around the y-axis. In the second quadrant, y is positive root 3 but x is negative 1. Hence we have root 3 by minus 1. So tan of 120 degrees is negative root 3. Let's go to the angle which is diagonally opposite 60 degrees in the third quadrant, and this angle, as we have seen before, is 240 degrees. It's mirror image of 120 degrees around x-axis. Here we see that both y and x are negative, minus root 3 minus 1. So we have minus root 3 by minus 1, which is actually plus root 3. So tan of 240 degrees is positive as both y and x values are negative and they get cancelled out. Let's go to find the tan of an angle that is in the fourth quadrant. This angle, as we have seen before, is 300 degrees. Here, this is a mirror image of 60 degrees around the x-axis in the fourth quadrant, and y is negative root 3, value of y is negative but x is positive. We have tan of 300 as minus root 3 by 1, so it is negative root 3. If you see, it matches what we do in the formulas. It hardly took 2 minutes to find the value of 4 different angles. Now let's look at tan of negative number. If you see here, we have negative minus 60 degrees is our angle here, which is the same as plus 300 degrees. We measure it from anti-clockwise from the positive x-axis. So this is again minus root 3. Now let's go to tan that is positive, which is in the third quadrant. We have seen from formula that tan of negative number is negative. But look at this, tan is also positive in other quadrants. So if I go to the third quadrant to this angle, which is minus 120 degrees, what is my tan? It is plus 3, plus root 3. But we don't see it in the formula. As I have told before, the formula applies for angles that are less than 90 degrees. Otherwise, you have to use the graph to get the right answer without any calculation mistakes. So always depend on a graph. In the exam, draw a graph in your rough sketch and see the angles that you need sine, cos, tan to. They form mirror image of which angle in which quadrant, and your answer is right there. Let's do a small exercise. It will hardly take 5 minutes. Find the sine, cos, tan of 30 and 45 degrees and mirror images of these two angles in all the four quadrants. If you look at the acronym, add sugar to coffee. Add A means sine, cos, tan all are positive in the first quadrant. Sugar S, which means sine is positive in the second quadrant. T, tan is positive in the third quadrant. Coffee, C, cos is positive in the fourth quadrant. This is the acronym that I have written in the previous slide. All you need to know is where does your angle lie, in which quadrant, whether it is a positive angle or a negative angle, and is it a mirror image of 30 or 60 or 45. This will give you the answer immediately. So this is School Easy, giving you easy ways to find solutions to difficult problems. Please subscribe to my channel and you will get more videos like this.